Experience a membership that backs what you're building with American Express Business Platinum. Unlock over $4,000 in business and travel value annually with statement credits on select purchases from brands like Dell, ChatGPT Business, Hilton, and Adobe, and other benefits. American Express Business Platinum. There's nothing like it. Based on total potential value of statement credits on select purchases and other benefits, enrollments required, monthly and other limits and terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum.
And we're live on match day as Doug reaches for a buffalo wing. He's got it! Oh, and he's gone for a can of Pepsi too! What a finish! There's no doubt about it. It just tastes better. Match days deserve Pepsi.
This summer, Prime Video takes you back before Legally Blonde, before law school, and into the world of Elle Woods in high school. Set in 1995, this Gemini vegetarian knows exactly who she is until her family moves from Bel Air to Seattle. Packed with iconic fashion, 90s nostalgia, and a throwback soundtrack, Elle proves one thing. Law school was hard. High school was harder. From the world of Legally Blonde, watch Elle, a new original series only on Prime Video. Watch now.
It's the Couch Chronicles where it ain't no fucking limits. Let me mic up. Shout out to everybody that's already tuned in. This whole week is prison jail Felon Talk. If y'all was looking for the couch last night, you know, I was actually interviewed. And I thought I was live on Facebook, but apparently I wasn't. So, but I did post it on my page. So go back and look. Thank you. Go back and look. Coming up also on the couch, July the 15th is going to be surgeries, menopause, health, and more. July the 17th, we got Derek, the spiritual coach. This is going to be his second time on the couch. Shout out to Derek. July the 20th is going to be mental health talk. And July 30th is going to be fuck fentanyl. August 29th coming up is going to be the second reunion, prison reunion. Sorry. Second year. Goddamn. Fuck. Yeah. Anyways. That's going to be August the 29th in Oklahoma City. So if you guys have done any time and you want to come and reminisce, come, let's have a good time. Kids are invited because I know that some of you guys have kids. So kids are invited. We're going to be at the park. During prison jail Felon Talk, I usually take the time to, sometimes we hear stories from, you know, people. Sometimes you might hear a story from me. Tonight, I'm going to do a little story time because I actually was just talking about this with my wife yesterday. And when you're locked up, okay, first of all, when you growing up and you going to school, you have to get your shots. You know, everything got to be up to date just to make sure. Well, when I first got to prison, they did this line for, I want to say it was the flu shot. And up until that point, my parents had taken me to go get my flu shot to make sure, that my records and everything was up to date. Up until then, my parents was the one that did it until I went to prison. So when I went to prison, and they wake you up early in the morning, and it's mandatory. You literally have to wake up. I don't care if you're not taking the shot, but you have to wake up, and they make you stand in line. And if you're not going to take the shot, you literally have to get in line, no matter how long it is, no matter where you are in line, you got to get in line and go up to the front. And once you get there, you can either say, hey, I'm not taking it. This is my reason why. Let me sign this waiver, or then you take it. Well, mind you, I had this is my first year in prison. So this is the first time that they're like doing this. So, they wake us up early in the morning. I want to say it was like 3. It was before breakfast. So I'm like, okay, well, what are they waking us up for? They was like, well, the nurses are here. So it's either, they're giving us a HIV test or they're giving us some type of test or an injection, something. I was like, okay. So I get up, mind you, I didn't want to, but it was mandatory. So I get up, and my intentions was to take the shot. That was my intentions. And I think at that moment, let me just rewind. And let me say this. If you guys haven't seen every episode of The Couch, that's fine. I do prison jail Felon Talk every month on The Couch. I also got a chance to interview one of the previous nurses that used to work at Mabel Bassett. And what she told me on The Couch blew my mind, because it's like, you as a nurse, when you go to school, you literally go to school to learn and then try to get a job that you can apply what you learned. Well, they specifically tell the nurses that you cannot do anything that you've learned up until, I don't care where you learned it from. You don't apply that here in the penitentiary. In the penitentiary, you do things different. So these nurses, they're tired, I'm sure. They're being told something that may even go against their moral code. Like, their morals. They probably don't even believe in letting someone be sick and you not tended to them, but because you work in a penitentiary, they told you don't tend to them because they probably just trying to get some medication. So it probably goes against what you believe in. So this morning, they have maybe 4 or 5 lines that's going, and they have nurses in each station. Now, I must have got the nurse that was very fucking tired, that was fed up and ready to go. Because by the time she got to me, I was already in line for like an hour, maybe two, for real, because it's a lot of people. You got to go through the whole dorm, and I actually chose to be last. So once I got to this lady, and again, it was my intentions to get my flu shot. Well, I just remember seeing her fling off the cap to the needle so fast, like she was about to, I don't know, like, to me it was just like, damn, she's like, yeah, she, I was like, in my head, like, she's a professional, because but the way she pulled her arm back, I honestly, I didn't move because I wasn't thinking that she was serious. I honestly had believed that she was playing. I thought she was going to be like, and then come, how sometimes people be playing, they be like, like, hi, you thought I was going to do it type shit. I thought that that's what she was going to do. But when she reached back and she actually slammed down into my arm and broke the needle. And I didn't, because I couldn't scream like the movies. I was like, what the fuck? Like I was going off. Like, they actually tried to put me in lock behind her slamming a needle in my arm, which I think I think it's covered up with the tattoo, but she slammed that needle in my arm and broke it. And I couldn't believe it. It was literally hanging out of my arm. And I'm looking in her eyes to see if she's apologetic. And there was no apology in her eye. It was just literally like next type shit. I was like, whoa, hold on. And I made a big deal. They tried to take me to lock. But my thing is this, is y'all literally let this woman jam this needle in my arm. That was my that was my last as an adult shot. Matter of fact, the shot didn't even work. The motherfucking needle broke. She ain't pushed nothing. It just broke. I've never had a flu shot since I was a child. I tried to as an adult, and I had a bad experience. Like, I'd understand that they are in a different type of position mentally and morally. So it may make them feel a type of way. And sometimes, I don't know if you guys ever worked so much or did something so much that you barely got any sleep, but you knew the motions of what you was doing, and it was almost like she was a robot, like, and then she was just like, all right, like, next, like, she didn't see me yelling, screaming, going crazy. So they might be, at the time, I didn't know, but they could have been overworking them. And even though we don't see them working, because we done put in so many medical requests and still ain't been seen in about a year, but, excuse me, we don't see what those nurses are in medical doing, or we don't see what's happening in medical, because it actually is a lot. I don't know if you guys noticed, but they actually have like a whole section in medical that's like the infirmary, you know, and sometimes there's people that's back there that got staph real bad, or pregnant, or about to have a baby, or what, just had a baby, and or whatever the case is, a surgery, something. But there's like a whole nother like unit back in medical, like literally, like, you get counted back there, and it's an actual room, toilet, all of that, just like your prison cell. So even though we're not getting in to see medical when we need to see medical, even though we putting in these medical requests and all of that, even though we're not seeing them working on our behalf when we need to see them, they're also working in the back with other inmates. Some of them might be coming from C3. You never know. They might be going through something that mentally, and they didn't have enough room in TS, and so they left them back there with the nurses, who they went to school to be just a nurse. They didn't go to school to be a nurse and have to deal with the things that happen in the penitentiary. Like, let's just be real. You know, if you was in C3, 9 times out of 10, they called you a patient. You know, you were not all there, or at least pretended. So imagine, this isn't what you train for as a nurse, but you come on shift, and now, exactly, wifey, little hospital rooms, you come on shift, and now you got an infirmary full of, first of all, inmates. Okay. And some of them might be back there for something that could be contagious, that you can possibly take back to your children, to your own family, if you're not careful. And we all know there's been plenty of times where nurses have gotten sick and taken their sickness back to their home, to their children, to their family. So now you got this nurse that's back there. She wasn't trained in dealing with an inmate that had a mental disability, that if you say a certain word, they punch you in the face, or they didn't sign up for that. They didn't know that they was going to have to babysit in their eyes, because now you have to watch these and make sure that, especially if they're on TS, you got to make sure that they ain't harming themselves. You got to check on them every now and then. You got to distribute the meds. And then also deal with the inmates that come into the medical whenever count is clear. Because we all know that when count clears, sometimes that medical will fill right on up of people who need to be seen for whatever reason, or want to know why they're not being seen. You know? How many of those nurses are literally just going with the motion? Just because they already know the movements. They just doing the movements because they already know. She was just going with the motions and then just jabbed me and then thinking it was all good. So she trying to just go with the motion and go to the next person. It takes a lot already to work in the penitentiary. It takes a lot to be an inmate in the penitentiary. So imagine going into work, having to change who you are morally, and going through it mentally while you're on the clock. And then you still got to be this person or that person to the inmates, or you still got to be stern. But how can you be stern but open, have these ladies open up to you if you being stern, but you actually want to genuinely help and you got the job so you can help? But now the rules of how you have to work goes against what you actually came there for. You thought you was coming to help, but you actually came in and did worse. Then, I mean, it happens. You could have the intentions to be a good person. You can have the intentions to be a good nurse while you're working in the penitentiary, and then you might get that one inmate that takes you there. You might even get an ex. You never know. You never know. A family member, somebody that just doesn't like you, or somebody that's just having a bad day, and you might be the victim. You right there. You the next person they gonna cuss out because, oh, I can't see the doctor. What you mean I can't see the doctor? I've already filled that medical request, and we all know how those type of arguments go. Because it's a whole argument. It's a whole argument. And it will go on and on and on. And then you'll get some of those nurses that will argue back with you. And you'll get some that'll just immediately call the police to get you the fuck up out of there. So not only are they nurses, they're babysitters, they're, mental health doctors, they're, they're everything and yet nothing. They do everything, but yet nothing gets done. They went to school to learn everything that they know, but they don't get to apply it in the penitentiary because that's the rules. You don't really come here to help. You're here for the position and the check. Period. So, yeah, we want more nurses and doctors in the penitentiary, but I mean, we had a doctor that was in there that you could be like, oh man, my neck hurt, and he'll be like, all right, take your pants off. And you like, wait a minute, take my pants off. Yeah, take your pants off. Now you getting a pap smear because your head hurt or your neck hurt. So we had those type of doctors that was actually just in there just to touch on us. Get a free feel. It's really fucking sick, to be honest. The shit that we had to endure because we needed things. Like, we needed to be seen by medical And we had to endure a pap smear because he wouldn't have it any other way. So not only are we being, because to me, that's sexual assault. Because I didn't ask for a pap smear. And that's not what I'm here for. I literally said my neck hurt. He ended up getting fired, but it was just like, goddamn, y'all heard, not just heard rumors, y'all literally heard truths. And they swept it under the rug for so long. That doctor was there for a long time doing that. And it's like, what type of people are y'all hiring? They don't even give a fuck to do. They do more of a background check on you to get a house than they do when you go to work in a penitentiary. Because ain't no motherfucking way. Some of those men and women officers are mentally disturbed more so than us. Some of us will literally look at them like, whoa, hold on, you might need to be here. And honestly, I know y'all gonna be mad at me for saying this, but can we blame them? And the reason why I say that is because I couldn't imagine working somewhere and having to deal with all these energies, and then also having to do and say what they want you to say and what they want you to do. You damn near a motherfucking inmate just like us. You are being told what to do. You are being told how to handle us, what to do with us, and how to treat us. You are being told, and you are doing exactly what we doing. You being told by somebody, and we being told by you. The only difference is you get to go home, yeah. But it's so many officers that was there that right now quite possibly have PTSD. Thank you so much for the hearts. Quite possibly are mentally disturbed more than before they started working there. Now they can't even seem to shake certain things. A shake of a key can remind them to the penitentiary, just like us. Certain times, count. What if they wake up and say that shit? I mean, you say it so much to us, and then you hear it and you're like, ooh, whoa, what the fuck? You end up being institutionalized as a correctional officer. You end up being institutionalized as a nurse. You end up being institutionalized just like us. And you end up in therapy just like us. You just get a check for being there, and we don't. You get paid for each head that's in there. They do, well, the state do, but you know what I mean. The penitentiary can change anyone, and not just an inmate. The penitentiary can change a staff member. There's staff members that literally got humbled in that motherfucker. I done seen staff members get beat the fuck up by inmates and humbled. They wasn't the same person after that. Damn near didn't even want to come back. Prison will humble you, regardless if you an inmate with a DOC number 607641. You never forget. You never forget, and it's almost hard to shake certain sounds, certain phrases, Thank you so much for the gift. Right, 715-401. Exactly. You never forget, man. And just like, again, just like us, you know how many officers is probably out there trying to do the same thing, and they like, oh damn, I'm not at work no more. I don't work up there no more. Or some of them change their whole life. They pastors now, don't cuss, they a whole different person. I know anytime I ever did prison jail Felon Talk, y'all know I always say that there was one officer that I just, matter of fact, it was two of them. Bohan, bitch ass, and Rosencrantz, motherfucking ass. But again, both of them got humble. And it wasn't something that, it wasn't something that we did to them. It was something that came back around and because this is the thing is, just because we are in the penitentiary doesn't mean that you get to do, say, and treat us any old kind of way. But some of the officers, the staff members, choose to. Well, you making that choice, you making a choice for karma to come back to get you. In any shape, form, or fashion, karma could come back in any way. And for Bohan, everybody know, she ended up with cancer. And Rosencrantz, he was having strokes, I think, back to back. And ended up real depressed and going through it. A lot of those officers that did some of the worst things on the yard, including some of the staff members, some of them are in fucked up positions right now. Some of them literally, mentally, physically, and emotionally, they not that same person that was bullying us on the yard. They not that same person that was cussing us out and writing misconducts on us for no reason, and that was antagonizing us. They not that same person. They have been humbled because they didn't realize that working here, I'm going to end up institutionalized just like these ladies that I'm so hard on, just like these men that I'm so hard on. Why are you so hard on me? You ain't my motherfucking mama and daddy. What you really need to be doing is actually helping rehabilitate me instead of trying to help humiliate me. Let's be for real. They will make fun of us just like the staff members would. Just like the inmates would. They used to think it was so funny that I was pigeon-toed. I didn't. That shit fucking hurt. They'll go, like it was funny. It's not funny. I don't like you motherfuckers, and I don't play with you bitches. So don't play with me, motherfucker. Don't come over here doing that dumbass shit. Bitch, because I'm going to write you up just like you going to write me up, huh? Don't do that to me. And that's how I used to get in trouble, because you're not going to do me any old kind of way. And I'm going to speak up for myself. And when you do, you know that they coming. You know that they coming to terrorize your ass. Toss your cell. Anything they can to get back to make you feel what they want to actually do to you. They really be wanting to hurt. They'll come deep with they little motherfuckers. They'll shake your room down. And if they don't find something, guess what? They'll come back the next day. And the next day. And the next day. Until they feel like they satisfied with making you feel miserable. And a lot of them motherfuckers is miserable right now. Right now. Watching some of us live our best lives. Watching some of us continue to elevate. Watching some of us continue to grow. Some of these officers done turned into inmates. Some of these officers all up in our business still. They want to be in the mix so motherfucking bad. Well, you one of us now. I know you having them flashbacks. I know that's really not funny though. It's really not. It's really not. But I know it because we do. We do. And I know if we had to be something or someone that we are not, and how we felt doing it, I know y'all did the same thing. And I know that y'all feel the same way. And it's tough. It is. You know, but I'm really glad that some of the staff members that finally seen the light actually left because they didn't want to keep compromising their morals, compromising how, you know, some people genuinely will stand up, you know, for us. And even if that means losing their job. So shout out to the ones that actually chose to stop working for DOC because they seen the fuckery. They seen that they were being moved like puppets. And you guys was falling for it, you know. You thought you was playing chess, but really you wasn't. It's no real game when somebody is above you playing all the moves at all. It's cheating the whole time. The whole time. I'm just saying. If you're just now tuning in, it's the Couch Chronicles where it ain't no fucking limits. I do this every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday from 8 Central Time, and every Wednesday and Friday from 9:30 a.m. Central Time. I did come on a little bit early, but it's okay. I just needed 30 minutes of your time. I will be back tomorrow morning, to be exact, 9:30 a.m. Central Time. I will see y'all in the morning. It's Prison Jail Felon Talk this whole week. If you do want to be a guest, you know I can always pull you up. We can always chop it up. I'm just saying. I love y'all so much. Thank you for tuning in. Mwah. Y'all have a good night. You too, Miranda. I love y'all. It's the Couch Chronicles where it ain't no fucking limits. Period.